Hello, Steve Arts E9. Well, everyone has been talking about Velma for the last few days, and they've been trashing it. They have ratioed the trailers to death, and all the reviews are just abysmal. So I thought, well, this is probably going to be a bit of a train wreck, and I wasn't really expecting much. Yes, the usual suspects are going to hate it no matter what because it's got a female lead, and she's a person of colour, and she's gay, so of course they're going to have to hate it on every level because that's what the pop culture wars is all about. It's just about the conservative people trying to claw back their white privilege and power and all that sort of stuff, which is really, really, really on the nose at this point. But I watched it. I watched the first two episodes, and it was okay. I'm like, what are people going on about? Yes, it's just relentlessly meta in its humour, but it's not too much. I actually laughed at a few of the jokes, and the rest were just sort of, well, of course they're going to say that. All the usual stuff's there. Daphne is now Asian with orange hair. Her mothers are lesbian cops, interracial. The one sort of main white character, of course, is a complete joke. He's been pampered so much as a spoiled, rich white boy that he hasn't even entered puberty yet because his body hasn't found the need because it's taken care of. And he doesn't actually have a small you-know-what. He just hasn't gone into puberty yet. So there's no reason why, assuming he actually learns and grows, he actually won't actually just go through puberty and be just a regular man. So, and that the first episode doesn't even have that joke. So I'm glad I didn't do a review of the first episode because I would have said they don't even talk about the small. They're just talking about him not going through puberty. So I guess people just assume, but no, they do actually mention it in the second episode. And I don't know. I mean, Velma is very cynical and judgmental. She's very intelligent. She thinks she knows everything, and I must admit there are quite a few comments and conversations that she had with people that I've had in my own life. So I'm getting that I relate to Velma on some level, which is disturbing. But yeah, so basically there's two mysteries to the show. The first one is Velma's mother disappeared 2 years ago. They don't know where she is or what's happened. And she stopped trying to solve mysteries at that point. And she started having these hallucinations which show these sort of very horrific zombie-like visions of her mother, which add an interesting sort of little horrific sort of element to the show. And the other is, of course, these girls keep showing up with their heads cut open and their brains removed. And Fred is initially tried for it, but he obviously couldn't have done it first because he is basically like a boy who can't do anything. He can't even cut his own meat. But then they do show when his white entitlement brings out his rage, or he's just rich entitled. He's just entitled. He does discredit himself. So I don't know where they're going to go with that. I don't know if both these stories are going to go over the whole season, or if they're going to move on from Fred at some point. But I don't know who it is. I haven't tried to work it out yet. I'm glad there is a mystery. But I thought it would be more like just an episodic thing, not like an overall thing, because you don't sort of have that fun of solving the mystery each episode. But that is, again, it's falling into the tropes that all the contemporary shows have or are, where it's like an ongoing story with each episode is just a chapter. So you never really get a story, you never really get anywhere. And it's just sort of doing that thing where it's doing the origin story, and the whole movement of the show is just getting us to what we had, which is Velma bringing together the Scooby Gang. And we'll probably never actually see the Scooby Gang in action and get to enjoy the Scooby-Doo show, which is what everyone loves and wants, and what this is sort of building itself on, because that was a popular show, everyone loved it. But instead of just giving us that, they're giving us this pre-game, and all these franchise shows do this, where they either do something totally different or they go backwards, and the whole series is a promise of getting to where we know we should be, but never actually delivering it. So ultimately it probably won't be satisfying as a show, but it's not the train wreck that people are making out. I want to say I don't get why they hate it. Well, I do, because they're alt-right, conservative, misogynist, racist, homophobic people who just cannot handle anything being like not white and conservative. So it's just a cliche. It's tiresome at this point. And I'm now sort of thinking I need to go watch Batwoman or something. It's like all the shows that were trashed I need to watch, because so far we're going 2 for 2. I watched The Equalizer and I loved it, and I watched this and it was okay. So I'm guessing pretty much all the other shows that have been trashed are mostly just these people being hateful. Even if they can pull out some genuine criticisms, they're usually fairly mild and not really that disruptive to, someone actually enjoying the show. So yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be as bad as they were saying. Not as bad as I was saying, but I thought it had to be bad with all what people are saying, but it was fine.